I have been blessed to know George McPhee for almost 25 years and fortunate enough to work with him for about 20. We worked together first at the Washington Capitals and then again here in Las Vegas with the Vegas Golden Knights. From the very beginning, it was evident that George cared not only about the business and hockey side of his teams, but the human side as well. For George, there isn't anyone who is less than. Everyone's opinion matters, everyone's role matters, and they all contribute to the better good of the team. Michael Connelly's lead character, Harry Bosch, is known for the mantra, everybody counts or nobody counts. For George, this is pretty much the way that he lives his life and the way that he leads his teams. It means that everyone matters and every detail is important. This means that he has a smile for everyone in the arena. And it also means that a business deal isn't just a business deal. It means that every transaction, every contract, every trade, he's aware that it's not just a player, it's a human being. George is also someone who leads by example. He's someone who works very hard and expects that of those around him as well. He's someone that sees team first and everything else second, and tries to instill those same traits in those that he works with. It also means that he builds his teams on more than just skill. Character has always been critical to the teams that he assembles. Over his long career, George has been one of the most successful executives in the NHL. He's had success with the Vancouver Canucks, the New York Islanders, the Washington Capitals, and of course created history here in Las Vegas with the Vegas Golden Knights. When I first sought an internship with the Washington Capitals, the Career Center asked me whether or not I'd like to work for the House or Senate side. Needless to say, after George's 17 years with the Washington Capitals, that question would have been unthinkable. George brought a Stanley Cup final, a President's Trophy, and a perennial playoff contender to the Washington, D.C. area, a team that they would never be able to question or forget. At the Golden Knights, he led the team to a Stanley Cup final in its first year. Ironically enough, it was against his previous club. But in a sense, it's only fitting because it speaks to the kind of leader that he was. Both teams' successes were with him at the heart of them, having assembled both the front offices and the rosters for the Washington Capitals and the Vegas Golden Knights. It is hard to imagine the Vegas Golden Knights achieving that success that first year without George's leadership and creativity. Unsurprisingly, George was honored that year as the NHL General Manager of the Year. And while he earned the title that year, he's earned it several others as well, at least in the eyes of his colleagues around the National Hockey League. He is universally respected by his peers, and perhaps more telling is what my peers tell me about how very lucky I am to work for George McPhee. George is known to be one of the very best, not just because of how good he is at the job that he does, but the way that he does it. It's in the way that he treats people. It's in the way that he holds himself to the very highest levels. Needless to say, there are many in the NHL who would gladly take my job off my hands for the privilege of working with and learning from George McPhee. The awards and accolades have been many, but perhaps the two titles that have come to mean the most to George are that of husband and father. While tonight will no doubt be an incredible honor, it's hard to imagine it matching travel lacrosse games with his daughter Addie, the start of his son Graham's professional career, or the highest of heights this year, the wedding of his daughter Grayson. Congratulations, George, and on behalf of so very many, thank you.